Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Tom and this is Tom's Toys 95. I'm a part-time eBay reseller as well as a video game collector, and I like to document my journey on eBay in terms of reselling, what I buy, what I sell, how much I sell it for, how much profit I make, etc. Any shops that I visit throughout the week I also throw some footage in as well and show you some of the things that I purchase, what I'm listing, what I'm selling, buying, etc. So let's just get straight into it. So this weekend we have sold 8 items. So I've got my laptop in front of me. I'm going to go and pick the orders and then I will show you what they are and tell you where I got them from, how much I paid for them, and ultimately how much they're sold for. And then at the end of the week we will wrap up the video and I'll tell you how many items are sold throughout the week and how much I actually made in profit. So let's get straight into it. So the first item is a small item, and this is my what I call the smalls box. This is a box of small items that don't really have a place in my garage in a specific designated space. It's just got loads of small items in. So let's have a look through and see if we can find it. Now it is a Lego minifigure, so it could be anywhere, so stand by whilst I find it. Here it is. So it is the Lego minifigure of the Evil Queen. This is Disney 100 and it's opened, so I know what character it is. That was £1 from the car boot and that's gone for £5 in total, so not too bad. It's only a small sale, but nice bit of profit on that when you think about it. It's only £1. Up next is a fail. We've got a bunch of 8 Disney figures. Now they only cost me £1, but it only sold for £2. They've been lingering for ages. I don't know why they haven't sold for more money, but they have been lingering and lingering and lingering. So I'm just glad that someone finally sent an offer, and I just thought, you know what, for £2 just take it and save some space. So it is a bunch of 8 Snow White figures, so I'm going to go and grab those now, and they will be somewhere in here. So I can see them straight away. These are the figures. There's a set of 8 and the Evil Queen is missing its head, so I understand that's probably a reason why they haven't sold very quickly. However, you've still got a nice bunch of Snow White figures in there that, you know, what's left of them anyway. So yeah, I'm a bit shocked they've only gone for £2. Usually Disney figures like that will sell for a bit more. I think they're originally listed for about £6–7, and I've just reduced them over time and they've been lingering and lingering, so I'm glad they're just finally gone. So no profit in that one, but the sale's a sale. Next then we have Disney's Dinosaur interactive role-playing game on the PC. So that was £1 from a charity shop. That's only sold for £3, so I'm just going to go grab that now. So this game is in this box with all these other CDs, and it is this one here. So that has gone for £3, cost me £1 from a charity shop. Right then guys, the next sale is a PS4 game and it's just in the box behind me, so I'm going to go and grab that now. And it's on top, and that is WRC6 on the PlayStation 4. This only cost me £5.99 from Cash Converters probably about 3 weeks ago, and this has sold for £9.95 plus postage. Now there might only be about £2 profit in that or so after fees, but I always say with video games, I'm passionate about them, I enjoy collecting them, I enjoy buying them, I enjoy selling them, and they cost me very little in time to actually list. And if I'm going to the post office anyway, a couple of quid profit is a couple of quid profit, so I'm happy with that. So that has gone for £9.99. And we've now got some magazines. Now this is the first bundle of these magazines that I've sold. I purchased them for £18 from the car boot, and it was a big stack of magazines, and there's 12 per year, and there was about 7 or 8 years, so they're all from 1947 or 48 through to 1954. And this is the year set of 1953, so there's 12 issues, and this is, as I said, one bundle of about 8, and the whole thing cost me £18. So this bundle cost me about £2 and it sold for £15.99, so I just need to find 1953. So these are Meccano magazines, and as I said, there are 12. Now these are from 1953, so January through to December, and £15.99 I got for those, and I only paid £2, so very happy with the markup on that one. Now the next one is a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure, which I picked up from TK Maxx the other week for £5.99, and that has gone for £20 all in, so £16.30 plus postage on that one. So let's go pick that now, I'll take you with me. So that is in this box here, you can just see it. and this is Marvel Legends Thor, and that has gone for £16.30, and it only cost me £5.99, so probably about £8, £9 profit after fees on that one. Pretty cool, got detachable heads and hands. And following on from that, we have a old Spectrum video game that is sold, which is in one of the boxes that I just had on hand. And I'm looking for Chess Shooter 1, which is the second one here. So these Spectrum games are like cassette cartridges. They would go into like an old gaming computer just here. And this one comes in a nice cardboard box. That sold for £6. I only paid £1 for that in a bundle from the car boot, so that didn't cost me very much at all. Back in the day, I think I paid about £20, £25 for a big bundle of them, and it worked out literally £1 each. I think it was £35 for 35 Spectrum games. So I've made a hell of a lot of profit on those over the years. I've just been left with probably about 15 to 20 that have just been a really long hard sell to try and sell these games. So, but the first few, the rarer ones, the better titles, they all flew out. But yeah, these ones have been lingering for some time now, so just glad to see that one gone. So that went for £6. And the very last item is a leather jacket, or a leather look jacket, which I only purchased the other week from the car boot for £10. So someone sent me an offer today for £20.50, so I've taken that. So I'm just going to go and grab that for you now. So here's the jacket. This is a Boohoo Man's Untitled jacket, it's called. It's got Untitled underlined. It's got graffiti style all over it. And as I said, £20.50. So double my money. After fees, probably make about £8 profit. So happy with that. And that so far is all of the sales. We've sold 8 items so far, and it's only Sunday evening. So we've got the rest of the week to try and make some more sales. So last week we made, I think it was 19 sales. So let's see if we can beat that. I've been listing heavily over the last couple of weeks, over summer. I had a really busy summer, had some tax to do, had a few personal things with my life going on. So I just haven't really been listing over summer. And as a result, I had really poor sales. So we are, last couple of weeks, we've been getting back into the swing of things. And I've made some really, not good sales, but really good listings. And as a result, sales have increased. So let's see if we can keep the momentum up. And as a result, last week we made 19 sales, which is the best in a while. Not so much the best profit, but the best amount of sales in a long time. So let's see if we can beat that this week. So we've got 5 more days to sell some stuff. We've got 11 more sales to go to beat last week. And I've got quite a lot of listings still planned for this week. So as I'm listing more, I'm helping the algorithm. If you try and list daily, you know, it's supposed to help boost your store, boost your items up a little bit more. eBay would prefer to promote somebody that is listing regular. You're going to make them more money essentially in the long run. So let's just keep momentum with that this week. And that's going to be my aim, is after work, just stay behind, get a few more listings done and see how we do. But for now, that is enough from me rambling, and I will catch up with you later in the week. Morning guys, it's Monday and I'm just about to head to work, and I've sold 2 more things overnight, so let's go grab them now. One is a little action figure and it's still new in the box, and the other one is a PS4 game, so let's go pick up. So the first one is a PS4 game, and it is this one. I believe this one's gone for £7.50. This was £7.99 and it was 3 for 2 in game, so I think this cost me about £6. So not a lot of profit in this one, but the other games that I bought in the bundle will even it out. Actually, it's £5.33, so there is a bit of profit in that. And the figure I'm looking for is a Deku Link, which is just in here. So this is one of my many figures boxes, and here he is, World of Nintendo Deku Link. This is quite a rare figure. This has gone for £19.99 plus postage. As you can see, Majora's Mask 3D. So I think this came out probably about 2017, 2018. Sorry, 2015 that came out. So this has been in my collection for some time. I had one to keep and one probably eventually to sell. So I picked it out of my collection last year, and it's been listed for a hell of a long time. And it started at £25 and I've reduced it slowly. I don't want to get any less than 20, so I'm happy that's gone for £19.99. And back in the day, this would have cost me about £4 from Smith's Toys. Morning guys, it's now Wednesday and I've got a bit of an update. So yesterday I went to B&M and bought a few more things, and on Monday on my lunch break I went to CEX and I bought 2 games. So I need to show those. Stupidly I forgot to record footage. I was in a bit of a rush both times, so I didn't get any footage, so I can't really put anything on the screen, but I will show you what I picked up later. I am in a rush, as I mentioned. So there's 4 things that I've sold. 3 are the same item going to the same buyer and 1 is a game, so I'm just going to go grab that now. So the game is Wolong Fallen Dynasty on the PS5. So I picked this up from Game and this was £24.99, 50% off, and it was £12.50, and this had sold for £25 or £26.95 actually, plus postage. So happy with the markup on that one. After fees I'll get about £8, so that's decent. And the next items were all listed for £12.50, got sent an offer for £6.75, didn't like that, so I didn't really want to decline it, but also didn't want to accept it. I did have postage added on for each individual item, so I was kind of debating whether that was a good or bad deal, and then it ran out and he sent me another offer for £9, £9 and £8.70. I'm not going to bother with the postage because they were listed for £12.50 each plus postage, so £16 each. So yeah, these are these little shell trucks, tankers for the railway set. So obviously, as I wanted £16 all in, if the guy wants postage back, then that's like £7 difference. So I'm gonna not offer postage back since he's sent me an offer for £9. So I'm happy with the price with postage, but obviously you can't really send a message to the buyer or the person offering until they've actually committed to buying it, which is annoying with eBay. Obviously they don't want any like backhand deals and stuff, but it didn't let me message him. So I've accepted the offers based on postage included, so I'm going to get those out today. And that's the only thing that sold. I had a blank day yesterday, so that's why I didn't record any footage yesterday. Nothing really going on eBay. I have listed a load of stock last night. Late last night I listed loads of stuff, and on my lunch break I listed a load of watch straps, so I will probably show you what I listed at some point. But yeah, that's it. I need to get to work, and that is me for today. Hey guys, it's now Wednesday evening. I've just got back from my networking event in Birmingham, and that obviously meant more game shopping in between. So I visited a Sports Direct / game store, popped into CEX, got a few little bits there as well, but I also went to CEX on Monday and popped to B&M Bargains on Tuesday. So let's show you what I've picked up so far throughout the week. So on Monday, let's start there. So my local CEX, I picked up 2 games. We've got For Honor on the Xbox One. This is the deluxe edition. I don't know if I'm going to sell this or add it to the collection. If I sell it, I wouldn't make much profit. It's only £2, but it only sells for about £4 or £5, and that comes with a CD soundtrack, and it should come with a lithograph print, which is not included, unfortunately. But £2 for the CD soundtrack and the game in the little deluxe edition case. I'm happy to add that to the collection for £2, so I'm cool with that. The next game I already have, so this is a seller on eBay. Now, I had a quick look at the eBay prices, and they've been going for around £25 to £30 consistently, and that is Resident Evil Revelations 2. Now, this cost me £15, and it's in really good condition, and I should be able to maximise my money for that one. So if I can get £25 to £30, I'd be very happy with that. So after fees, I could probably make about £7 to £8 profit. So those are those 2 games I picked up Monday, and then yesterday I popped to B&M. So I picked up 4 figures from a certain line of toys, and I'm going to sell them in 2 bundles of 2. And then the other one is a figure that I picked up last week and sold really quickly. So that figure is Pom Pom from Super Mario. This is Jakks Pacific, and these are the Nintendo line of figures that they make. And there's 5 figures in the set. Now, they did have all 5 on the shelf. They only had 1 of this character, but they had 1 or 2 of all the others. And I picked up the full set of 5 last week, and an extra 1 of this character. This character sold for £16 straight away. and the other set is still listed as a set of 5. Now I don't want to clog up my garage with too much inventory as winter's coming, and I'm trying to clear space ready for car boot season next year. Obviously there's a lot of stock in there at the moment, so I don't want to overcrowd it. So if this set of 5 hasn't sold, why buy it again? Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to wait until those sell. If they sell relatively quickly, I might pop back and see if they've got any more. But for the time being, this character sold really well for me, so I paid $7.99 and it sold for £16 overnight last week, so hopefully it sells for £16 again. So after fees, probably be about £6 to £7 in profit in that one. Then the set of 4 figures that I picked up is quite a new series that I've not really heard of until recently. They say 2022 on the box, but I've not heard of this line of toys before, and that is Handmade by Robots. Now this is the knitted series, so they're very similar to pop vinyls, except they have this knitted look, so they're made of vinyl. This one is Chunk, and we've also got Mama Fratelli. So these are from the Goonies, so these are going as a set of 2. So these 4 figures cost me $6.99 each, and I'm selling them for £30 plus postage for the pair. So I'm going to sell those for $30, and the next 2 will also go for $30, and that is Shaggy and Velma from Scooby-Doo. So these are also handmade by Robots, so those are pretty cool. So they sell between £15 and £20 per figure, and they have sold for £15 and £20 a figure. So I think £30 for the pair plus postage on top is a fair price. So hopefully those sell relatively quickly. So if I can get 60 quid for those, I'll be very happy. Now the next games are from today. So I popped into CEX and picked up 3 games, and then I went to a game store in Sports Direct and picked up 6 games. So let's go with the CEX ones first. So I only spent £6.50 on these 3 games, so they weren't very expensive at all. And to be honest with you, I haven't messed up, but I thought these games would be worth more than they are. So 1 or 2 of them I can't find the price, but the other ones were really cheap. So they're not necessarily worth as much as I hoped or thought they would be. But I've mentioned it on my on my channel a few times, and that is Xbox 360 promotional copies. Now these are given out to either reviewers of the game, they can be given out to game stores to put in kiosks, etc. So these are basically promotional games that can't be sold. Obviously CEX will still sell them because they're a second-hand store, so occasionally some of these can be very rare. A lot of them, the general rule of thumb is they're worth a couple of pounds more than the standard version. So for example, I think it was Battle Station Midway. This cost me £2.50, and on eBay it only sells for $5.99, and that is for the promo version. So a little disappointing on that one. I usually like to make up my own price, somewhere between the £15 and £20 range, because they are collectible. People do collect them in their own right, and some games are quite obscure. They might not have had that many promo copies, therefore there's not many in the wild. So yeah, so those 3, I should be able to get a decent amount on some of them. So this Command and Conquer one, I know I could get about £15 for this one, so that one's not a fail. But this one, only a £5. So, and that's current listings as well. So I don't know whether to list this in a bundle or just list it for a tenner and just leave it for a few months and hopefully it sells. This one, I couldn't find a single copy on eBay, so I don't know whether this is a rare one or not. I looked in the history, and one sold in Australia for $28, but that's Australian dollars, so that's probably not a lot of money. And someone's got one listed for a ridiculously high price, but that's the only one I can find. So I don't know if this one's rare or not, but it only costs £1.50, so I highly doubt it. So if I can get 15 for that, that'll cover the cost of the whole thing anyway. So it doesn't really matter if these only go for a couple of quid. But yeah, rule of thumb, if you see a promotional copy, they can be worth quite a bit of money, so always pick them up, especially if they're cheap. And if they're quite an expensive game, then chances are you've got yourself a nice, rare promotional copy. So then I'm moving on to the games. Now these, I don't know if I'm going to sell these or if I'm going to add these to my personal collection or not. I'm going down the route of personal collection for now, and then if I play them and complete them, I might sell them. But I spent a total of £61.15 in the Sports Direct. All of these games are new, and I asked if they would be sealed, if they had any sealed copies behind the counter. They said yes, and when I bought them, only 2 were sealed. So yeah, that's game for you. They sell new games, they also open the games, keep the disc behind the counter, put that case on the shelf for people to get their grubby hands all over. You take it to the till, and they just repackage that game and give it to you as new. So they're all secondhand essentially. So it is what it is. But they had a sale on the PSVR2 games, and I'm a big adopter and big fan of the PSVR2. I liked the original PSVR, and the PSVR2 also is something that I picked up on day one. I don't really play it that much in my new house that I purchased last year and moved into. I just haven't had the time, space, or room really to properly play it. In my old house, I had a bit more room, and I set it up like when I first had it, and it was great. And then over the summer and when I moved house in October, I just haven't really played it as much as I should. And part of that is because I'm a physical game collector and most of them are downloads. So finding physical games is quite tough, and they're usually quite expensive. And also the best games aren't physical. They're usually the lesser games that I don't particularly want to play. But these were all $8.99 except one that was £16, and that was originally $30, so 16 was quite a good price. But everything else was $8.99, which I thought was fantastic for what the games they are. So probably the best one and the one I'm looking forward to most, and that is Hubris. So I believe this is a remake of a PSVR1 game, but I've heard really good things about it. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. This is a £16 game, and it's called Aka R, and this is the special edition. I believe it's based off an old like Midway type arcade machine game. So in the back you can build your own cardboard arcade machine, and it comes with some stickers as well. Then that one's also sealed inside, so that's one of two that are sealed, and the second sealed one is Happy Funland. Now this is kind of like a psychological weird VR horror game, so I probably wouldn't have played this one anyway. I don't mind horror games, but I don't like the idea of horror games in VR, so I probably wouldn't have played this anyway, so I'm happy to add that to the collection sealed. But the next few games I wouldn't mind checking out at some point. So that's VR Skater. So this is another £35 game that was only $8.99. So I'm happy that was on sale. So these are their standard prices, by the way. These aren't sale prices, so they've obviously reduced them all. And then the next one is the Light Brigade and the Tale of Onogoro. Now both of these I've not played either of them, so I'm looking forward to giving them a bash. If they were sealed, I probably would have added them to the collection. So the good thing is that I get to play them, so I can't really argue too much. But yeah, $8.99, absolute bargain. So if you're into the VR2, or even if you're a reseller, go check them out, because I'm sure these will be selling for a lot more on eBay. That is everything that I picked up. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to make this segment of the video too long, so I'm going to cut it here, and I will update you in the next couple of days with any more sales. We had a really good start to the week, really good weekend, sold loads of stuff, and I've had a few slow days, so at the moment I think I've only got one thing to show you tomorrow to pick before I go to work. Otherwise, that's it. So hopefully we have a good week. End of the week, sorry. I listed so much stuff last night as well, so I think I counted something like 37 listings that I added on my store. There's a load of watch straps, a load of miscellaneous stuff that I just found lying around that I haven't listed yet. So there's a lot of stuff that I've listed to my store, so I'm trying to encourage those extra sales. Q4's coming up, as I mentioned in my other video, so I just need to keep listing, get as much stuff on my store. Hopefully we'll make as many sales and as much money as possible over the coming weeks. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to cut it there, and I will catch up with you in the next couple of days. Hello, it is now Thursday. I've just got back from work. I'm going to football in about 45 minutes. I've got a YouTube video to edit to get uploaded tonight as well in that time, so I need to be quick. So, 2 sales. Well, technically 5 sales. 4 items going to the same buyer, so it's all one parcel. And then we've got a single parcel going to somebody else. And I've also made 2 purchases today. So let's get into the first sale. £14. I'm surprised this one has been lingering for as long as it has. It hasn't been this price, much higher than this price. So this sold for £14 and I paid £4.50 for it, I think, from a charity shop. I picked up this and a t-shirt at the same time. And the t-shirt also took ages to sell. Now they're from 2005-ish era. They are Nike Total 90 hoodie, and this here sold for £14 plus postage. It's actually really good condition for the age. It's my size. I kind of regret not keeping it a little bit, but at the same time it's a bit outdated and it's not really my sort of style anymore. But really nice hooded jumper. It's like a stretchy material, and I think it's a size extra large, and yeah, that's gone for £14. So that's lingered for absolutely ages. Not sure why it took so long to sell, but it's going out nonetheless. I probably had that about 2 years. And then someone sold, so I listed some trains a few weeks ago. There's a video that you probably haven't seen because it's got no views, but there's a video that I listed a couple of weeks ago that where I explained that I picked up a bunch of trains, and I got around to listing them the other week, and 3 of them have sold already, which I showed you earlier on in the video, and another 4 have sold. They've all gone to the same buyer. Now, because they are weathered, they are basically been spray painted with paint to look dirty, so each of them looks slightly different. Some of them are more weathered than others. Therefore, I didn't want to list them all in a job lot of a bundle of 4. I wanted to sell them separately, but also I didn't want to list them with stock photos and then someone be disappointed because it looks different. So I listed them all individually, numbered them all 1 to 4, and 1 to 4 have sold. So the buyer, it's technically over 2 transactions. We bought 1 and then went and bought the other 3 together. So they are here. So these are the 4 trains, and they are Freightliners. So they're U-gauge and they are Hornby, I believe, made in England, really good quality. So I don't know how old they are, what time period that would be, but yeah, really good quality trains. And those are sold for £120 in total, £29.99 each, plus postage on top. So really happy with that. I made a purchase last night on Game. I won't include it in the video because it hasn't arrived yet. So whenever that arrives, I'll put that in next week's video. But I made a £103 purchase on Game website last night. So essentially, after fees, this is probably covering the cost of that game package, and that game package should have enough profit in there to recoup itself, and I get to keep the games from that bundle that I want. So I'm looking forward to doing a video on that and showing you what's in the package. What else? I went to Game today, so following on from those PSVR2 games yesterday, I picked up these 2. So we have VR Skater. Now this one is to resell, so I picked it up yesterday. I'm going to keep that copy, and this is going to be a sell copy. So this was £8.99 and it sells for around about £16 on eBay, so I'll be listing that soon. And this one is to keep. They didn't have this one in the game that I went to, so this one is Tennis on Court. Now this was in my local game, so I went and picked this up today on my lunch break, so happy to have that. Again, £8.99. They've got a sale on at the moment, so if you're into the VR2 or you're a reseller, go to Game, pick them up while they're cheap. So I've got those 2 games, sold those 2 items. That's everything from me for tonight, and I will check in tomorrow if there's any more sales. Otherwise, we'll get straight into the results. I also forgot to say, I've mentioned in numerous videos I'm going to be aggressive on listings going up to Christmas and trying to get as many stuff listed as possible. So I photographed all of this stuff on my lunch break today. So I've got these Zelda Ganondorf figures that I picked up the other day. I don't know if actually I included this in the video. I think I might have done. So if I didn't, I picked these up from a local store for £9.99 each. Now there's some listed on eBay for like 12 quid, but if you search the figure by name, it comes up as like £19.99 for the cheapest one, and if you search it by the barcode, one comes up for like 12 quid. But these are really cool figures, so I'm happy to sit on these for a little bit. So I've listed these for £20 each, and then all of these steelbooks have been photographed, and I'm going to list them later today or over the weekend. So hopefully by next week's episode all of these will be on my store. So if you want a steelbook, if you are interested in any of these, take a look and see if there's any you fancy. There's no discs in these. I did do a video on that as well, so they're just cases, and there's a few random bits there. So yeah, all of those have been photographed, so keep an eye on my store. Lots of stuff happening, lots of stuff being uploaded, and I will check in soon. Hey guys, it's now the weekend and all the sales have concluded. There's a lot of kids playing outside my house, so I do apologise if you hear screaming, but it is what it is. You have to make do with the surroundings you have. So let's get into the results. Nothing sold on Friday, and there's a few little things to go over as well. So we had a return on a watch strap. Now, this is a bit of a strange one. Someone bought this over 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they sent me a message 4 weeks after they purchased it to say it doesn't fit the watch. Can I have a refund and return it? So they sent me a photo of it on the watch and it fitted fine. So I replied back saying, you can return it, but it fits. I can see on the image it fits the watch fine. And I put in the description what model and what size the strap is, etc. So they shouldn't really have got it wrong. But anyway, he initiated a return, and I didn't think that he was actually going to return it, but I accepted the return, and it's been about 2 weeks since I accepted it, but it's finally turned up. So about 5 or 6 weeks after he purchased the strap, it's come back to me. So that was £9.99 I had to refund. A bit of a shame, but to be fair, I've looked at the condition and it doesn't look used or worn, so I'll just resell it. So it's not a big deal, but a bit frustrating. So there's that. There was something else that I wanted to mull over. and I can't find it, so it's obviously not important. So let's just get straight into it. So 18 sales in total. Now, if we take off for 5 sales, we technically only had 13 orders. However, we had 2 orders that contained 3 items and the other one contained 4 items. So between 2 orders, we got 7. So, that's kind of helped with the numbers. In terms of the actual figures, we've had a really good week in terms of profits, so I'm happy with that. So those trains have saved the week, so to speak. So gross sales overall, we've got £317 and 33p. That is everything that has sold plus the postage. Now the fees this week was 51.89. Those trains were quite expensive. That's where the fees come from. And the postage was £28 and 59 pence. So cost to buy, again, trains were quite expensive, so 83.67. Although when I say expensive, the trains actually on a breakdown cost me £5.45 each, and on average they were selling for £28, £24, and those shell ones went for £10.50. And one of them, because I combined the postage, one of them was £6.79 after fees. The other two were £10.45 each after fees. So I got £26 back, or actually 27.69 I got back, and I only spent £16.40 on those. And the other sets of trains, after everything deducted, it says 110.93. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention is today I have refunded the buyer because he received the trains this morning, and unfortunately they broke in transit, or like the couplings of the train broke, so he's had to fix them. So I apologized, and I did send it in a really sturdy box, but maybe I didn't pad it enough, I don't know. But the box itself was like uncushiable. It's a really thick cardboard box, and unfortunately they did break, so I refunded him £10 for that one. So that was actually £100.93 after the refund. But I got £100.93 on those trains, and I only spent £21.80, so the markup's pretty good. So the overall profit this week is £153.18. So I'm happy with that. Pretty good week. Can't complain. I always aim for £100 profit if I can. If I get any more than that, fantastic. So we got £100 last week, and we did like £500 the week before because I sold that Call of Duty bundle. But yeah, that's everything from me for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this hasn't rambled on too long. So it's a bit of a longer one this week. There's been a bit more going on than usual. So I'm just trying to get as much listed as I can before the end of the year. So there's going to be a lot more listings in the videos going forward. And hopefully, as a result, a lot more sales. Therefore, the videos will need to be a little bit longer. But that's enough of me rambling, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new around here, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting on the videos. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.